That sounds so good, doesn't it?
It's awesome.
It's been a while.
It's been a hot minute.
We already got to start. No talking. Law and Disorder coming at you from the, what is this? The Me Shed? Am I still calling it the Me Shed?
You're calling it the Me Shed. I will forever call it the She Shed.
Oh, it's
as
my
you
She
should.
Shed.
Mm-hmm.
It's my She Shed. Okay.
I mean, I'm in here. I'm a she. She
Oh,
shed.
hold on, that takes away from me. What about Me Shed?
You could make it a he shed?
The shit is
A he shed?
a we shed.
A we shed.
It's the we shed.
Oui.
Like we. I'm French. We.
Oui.
We.
Comment allez-vous?
Huh? I don't know what that means. I don't know.
Parlez-vous français?
I don't know what you just called me. No.
Oh.
So
You'll never know.
here we are.
Thanks for joining us, y'all.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, everybody. I need to jibber jabber and hear us real quick just to see, make sure we're good. Let's thank the sponsors first of all. The local game store in Richardson, Texas, for all of your gaming needs. East Texas Championship Wrestling, Wave Space Audio for the music, Dish Young Ideas for the awesome setup we got going on here.
Yes.
They create this whole setup is their fault.
Yes. We have what we have because of them.
Yes,
Very
it's their
thankful.
fault. It is their fault.
I wouldn't call it their fault. I mean,
I'm gonna call it their fault.
it's their fault that we're spoiled now.
It's your
I
fault
will
that
say
we're still. It's your fault that we're still here. That we haven't. Oh wow, it's loud.
Wow, we sound great.
Okay, cool. We always sound great. Perfect. We sound great. Good. That's what I want to
Yay.
say.
Last
Okay.
thing we want is like, I saw this meme where, because the norm now is to work from home and the quote of the year is, "You're on mute," during your Teams calls.
I thought the quote of the year was put on some pants. There's all these people that do these. They work from home and they're doing all these meetings and they work from they don't wear pants.
Well, no one wants to wear pants.
I mean, I have to wear pants. If I have to wear pants at work, you have to wear pants at work.
But you actually go into work.
I know, but if I have to wear pants, you have to wear pants. That's just the way it's going to have to be. So, we're here. I think we're doing okay. I think we're looking good. I think we're sounding good.
I'm loving the setup in here too. I'm excited to see what more we do to it.
The Me Shed is
Yes.
going to have many, many, many improvements in the coming weeks. Andrew, dude, we got young Andrew here with us, and he just wanting to die today. He just wanting to just get in trouble and just need you to chill out, buddy. No, but we're not playing because we're working right now, right?
Feels like we're playing, but we're not.
It feels
we're
like
working.
we're playing, yeah. So yeah, we got a full house here. We got a dog running around. We got us doing this.
Mosquitoes are starting to come out.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about that real quick. What's going on with the mosquitoes? We had like sub-zero temperatures for days. For almost a week, it was below freezing, and for like 2 or 3 days, it was sub-zero.
Yeah.
Why are they not dead?
They don't die because they what I read is they basically go into like a state of hibernation. It's almost like they're cryogenically frozen. If you've ever seen that in the movie where they freeze a human and warm it up and bring it back to life like 100 years later, that's essentially what happens with insects.
Mosquitoes just go.
Yes, and I'm not saying, it's all like the adult ones that freeze and die, but all the eggs that are laid, those are like pretty much cryogenically frozen, and as soon as it warms up to a certain temperature, they start metabolizing and they hatch and they come back to life, and it all happens at once because they all hatch at the same time as soon as it hits a certain temperature, and it's always about March that happens. So
You're good, kid. Get on out of here.
bye, Andrew.
Bye, Andrew. No, take your stuff. You're out of here.
There goes our live studio audience.
All right, bye, buddy. Later. Cool. Now we can. Yeah, everybody can see Andrew. Now we can start the show. Good Lord. Trying to do a live podcast with your 7-year-old is just not. Love the kid to death. It's not convenient. So they're not.
It's hard to work and parent at the same time, huh?
It is. That's why I go to work. That's why I physically go to work, so I don't have to parent while I work. But shout out to Myrna. Myrna does it every day. I don't know how she does it every day.
You go, girl.
So, okay. So we're here. We're full of mosquitoes. We got ambiance. Look, we got lights. We got beer.
We got drinks. We got tea. We don't have snacks though, but that wouldn't be very professional if we ate on camera.
Hey,
But-
hold on. Shout out to Bourbons and Likes because we eat every time we're on camera. Shout out to Bobby Shoes. We're always eating. So let's
But
talk
that's the point. That's fine.
bourbons and lax.
Yes.
Is the point.
Yes.
But right now we're talking law and disorder. So let's talk about what's going on in the news right now.
Oh my gosh, so many things. All the things. It was hard to pick stuff to talk about today just because there's so much is happening. So I try to do a mix of fun stuff with not so fun stuff with feeling stuff. So I'm going to start with the feeling stuff. So I don't know if you've heard or depending on where you live in the U.S. or what state you live in and the school districts, whether you're in K through 12 or college, this week is typically spring break week. This past week or maybe the week before, but it is spring break time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, remember the
Oh,
good
yeah.
old days? It is party time. I mean, you made it through, midterms. You have a month and a half of school left. Like, even though it's still cold to me, people go out and party. Well, I think people went out and partied a little too hard in Florida. Of course, it was Florida. So basically, Miami Beach, which is this huge entertainment district in Florida, they had to declare a state of emergency because of out-of-controlled spring breakers invading their town.
Duh.
Yep.
They didn't get to do it last year. Mm-hmm. Some of the kids that graduated last year came back and were like, no, I'm going to go do spring break this year. Screw that. We're going to spring break. I'm not
yeah.
missing that. Yeah, so it's just like pandemonium.
Oh, it's as if a natural disaster happened there. There are literally thousands and thousands of college kids there. They're all drinking. They're all rowdy. None of them are wearing masks, by the way. None of them are social distancing. There's videos of all these kids dancing in like these huge mosh pits, holding 40s in their hands, jumping on top of cars, like grinding up on each other, singing, people getting in fights.
So they look like the city of Philadelphia when the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Pretty
Just
much.
hanging out with the 40s. And
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, and except it's the 40s and the liquor, and you mix liquor into that, and oh my gosh. But basically, the mayor had to enforce a curfew for the town. It was 8 p.m. And they restricted traffic flow into the city
8
for
p.m.?
3 days. Yes.
Okay, hold on.
Yes.
So let's say I'm one of the spring breakers,
Mm-hmm.
and it's getting crazy, and then I call you and it's like, hey Kate, we're all here, we're having a good time. There's like riots going on. Like we're gonna get us a TV, we're gonna buy, we're gonna steal us a car, whatever. Come on out, and then you get there and it's like, oh no, that was yesterday. Sorry, it's 8 o'clock curfew. 7:30, you got 30 minutes to drink and go home. Wait, but my friends were like burning the house down yesterday. Nope, sorry, that was yesterday, not today.
Yeah. They shouldn't have burned the house down yesterday, else we could have stayed.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, I like how you pointed out that none of them are wearing masks.
No.
Florida was like that. Florida's the one that pushed for no masks last year. Wasn't it like last May or June they were bucking the system? Mm-hmm. But how are they doing? Have they had like an influx of COVID because of spring break or?
I'm sure in 2 weeks there's going to be a huge breakout of COVID cases in Miami, for sure. I get that these kids, when you're that age, and I was recently that age. I'm not that much older than this age, but I remember being that age and thinking I was invincible and I was immortal, and even if I got COVID, I'd be fine. I'd just be a little sick. I'd get to miss school and blah blah blah. I'm in college. I want to party. I want to drink.
There's like a super spreader event caused because of spring break.
Yes.
Is what I'm hearing right now.
And I do know that like a lot of international and even some national flights were like canceled because they were trying to prevent people from traveling for spring break to go party. Like I freaked out for a second because I'm going to Mexico in July. So not anytime soon, but in a random weekend in July. And we were looking at flights and we saw this big notification saying that flights to Mexico, like from now until basically the end of March, were postponed and canceled. And we were like, oh no, what's going on in Mexico? Oh no, do we have to like get a refund for our trip? What's going on? And that's when I realized, oh, it's because they don't want people going to Mexico for spring break where they'll party and not be safe and catch COVID and bring it back to the U.S.
My buddy literally went down. He just came back today. He was in Cancun for his birthday. His birthday falls like right around St. Patrick's Day. So he's been down there for the last 4 or 5 days. This is a grown man though, but they had their COVID vaccines before they went. He didn't want to fly internationally until he knew he had his vaccine.
Well, good for him. Good for him. I guarantee not all of these. I guarantee none of these thousands and thousands of college kids have the vaccine because one, they're not eligible. And two, the eligible ones that probably did get a vaccine probably have some underlining, health and medical condition that they probably can't party like this anyway. So maybe 1% of these kids might have the vaccine.
I don't even think 1%.
You don't even think 1%? Okay. None of these kids have the COVID vaccine.
If you're 18 to 25 years old, you don't have a vaccine.
Yeah.
You're YOLOing. You're just living it up, man. You don't care. In my opinion.
But man, if you have time, y'all go on and watch some of these videos. I mean, you just Google Miami Beach. It's the first thing that's going to come up. But these kids were so bad. I mean, they were trashing restaurants and fighting in the streets and just littering everywhere, puking everywhere. People are defecating in the street.
What?
Fighting. Yes. Yes.
Hold on. Okay. So when you get drunk, I understand having to pee. But here's one thing I don't quite understand. When I get drunk, mainly it's off of beer. And I pee like an 85-year-old man. Mm-hmm. Like I pee, once you break that seal, I pee like every 20 minutes, I feel like. But never have I ever had the urge to poop when I'm drunk. That gets me the next day. That's when you have, quote unquote, the beer shit. Like when all that stuff's gotten together and then all the greasy food you ate to try to sober up, Mm-hmm. Who gets it during the actual drinking session?
Everybody's different. And you don't know the last time when they maybe they weren't able to go before they started drinking, right? If all the restaurants are closed, they don't have anywhere they can walk into to go to the bathroom. What are they supposed to do?
So I am pushing 40 years old. I'll be 40 this year. And I've been drinking since I was 15, 14, something like that. 25, 26 years of drinking. I've never known anybody to say, hold up, dog, pull over, I got to go drop a deuce. Ever. Who are these people and why don't they have control of their bowels when they're drinking? Like that just, I've never seen it. And then why
go to Miami Beach next year?
Why are you pooping in the streets? Like what are you using to, like what are you using to clean up? Mm-hmm. Like I'm very disturbed by that.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm glad I'm not there. And this just sucks because the state of Florida has already had over 2 million cases of COVID. And, like, they're saying they've had 33,000 deaths in Florida due to COVID or COVID-related deaths. So, I mean, they just don't care. And, I mean, I guess I'm the paranoid one. I'm so paranoid whenever I walk outside of my house and have to go to Walmart or if I have to pick something up from the grocery store. Like, I'm paranoid. I watch what I touch. I stay away from people. I have the sanitizer in my pocket, so as soon as I'm done touching something, I can put it on. Like, I wear 2 masks at this point. I'm so paranoid, and some people just don't care.
So in my line of work, I sell cars for a living, and we still have a mask rule for us. Obviously, in Texas, if you don't want to wear a mask, you don't have to. But we wear a mask. Like, employees wear a mask. And it sucks that it's starting to get hot, and you're like, just like last year, you're sweating and you can't breathe in these stupid things. But no, like, I Lysol my desk. I got hand sanitizer. I wash my hands, I wear a mask. Try and keep my distance. I still do, like, fist bumps when I meet a customer. I do, like, the elbow bump. I'm still doing those things because, again, but I'm a germaphobe, so I've always assumed everybody was dirty. So, but just because you don't have to wear a mask doesn't mean that you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't. Like, just because you're told don't do it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. So, I don't know. Just wear a mask, man.
And that's a whole nother topic we can get into.
Don't
but
defecate in the streets. Somebody's got to clean that up. Somebody's got to clean that. It's one thing to clean up puke. It's a whole other thing to clean up poop.
Well, some cities, they know what to do. I do know, like, there's a really bad homeless crisis in, like, cities like San Francisco. And this is a true thing. You can look this up. There's so many homeless people that don't have anywhere to go that they literally go in the streets. And it's a daily thing. And I think in, like, the middle of the night between, like, 11 or 12 p.m. to 6 a.m., they have these trucks that go around and spray the streets like a giant industrial size, car size tank with some type of chlorine or bleach water. I don't really know what the chemical is,
Just
but
clean
they're
it,
literally they're spraying the
They're, like,
streets
power
because
washing the
there's
streets.
so much. And you can look up a poop nap on Google of certain cities, and you can see how much there is. And so that's why, like, some cities have stuff for those reasons.
I know, but my
Yeah.
whole thing is that they have a homeless problem. Yes, the homeless don't have a place to go, but these are like young adults that have a hotel to stay at, and they can go into a bar because they don't look homeless. Like, go to the bathroom at the bar. Like, stop pooping in the street. What is wrong with these kids?
It happens.
Back in my day, we didn't poop in the street. We just peed in it. I feel like such an old man now.
Well, we can move on to a different topic so we don't gross everybody
I
out.
think we already did.
But I saw some cool news on CNN business website. But the U.S., when I say we, I mean the U.S. So the U.S. just signed a merger to create the first Canada, U.S., Mexico freight train that would go all the way from Mexico to Canada.
What?
Through the U.S. Yes, they just signed this merger. It would connect freight customers to Canada through the U.S. to Mexico in a single network for the first time in the history of ever.
Really?
Yes. Yep.
We've had trains for over 100 years, like 150, maybe 160. And this is the first time they've ever actually been able to go international? Well, how the hell were they moving stuff before?
Different rail lines.
But-
You would start on a new rail line, and then when you started on that new rail line, that rail line would be owned by a different company. So, like, you no longer would get that company, like, the money would switch.
So now we're going to have one rail line
Yeah.
that can go everywhere.
Yes. So, it was a lot of money. It was like $25 billion. It was a lot.
So, okay, so can I take a train? Is this just for commercial stuff, or can I take a train?
This is like freight. This is for like logistics and moving
Oh, so
coal
I can't
yeah.
like hop on an Amtrak and go
no.
to Canada.
I
How cool would that be?
I don't know what's gonna happen. Maybe they'll build it for both uses, and I think it's gonna be a freight rail line first, and then maybe eventually they can turn it into like a commercial type of thing. But I couldn't speak.
Nobody
to that.
really takes a train anymore, but how cool would that be if I could take a train from here to Mexico or from here to Canada? How cool would that be to go to like see the Midwest and to see Canada on a train? That'd be pretty gnarly. So going back to homeless people. Homeless people still like to ride the rails. They're gonna get to ride the rails like the Canada now.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Yep.
I mean, they could before. They just have to hop on other trains, but that's kind of cool. They know they can just hop on one train. It's like, all right, straight to Canada.
Yep.
And come back to Mexico.
Eventually.
That's pretty cool.
Just like they want to build a train that goes from like New York to California one day.
The super train, right? Or
Yeah.
the
Super train.
aren't we building one that goes to Houston supposedly?
Yeah, so Texas, I think they officially signed the deal where we would have like one of those fast track super speed trains from Houston to Dallas or something like that.
But it's like an hour. 30
It's
minutes.
like an hour and a half to get from Dallas to Houston.
Wow.
I am so excited for that. Now, granted, they haven't started construction or anything like that. It's going to be like 5 or 7 years before it's even close to being completed. But once it's done, that's going to be cool. Just think about it. You could live in Dallas and get on this train and work in Houston.
Wow.
Or you could live in Houston and get on a train to go work in Dallas.
That's kind of cool. But
Yeah.
aren't they going like 200-300 miles an hour?
Yes.
I don't know if I want to be on that train when it derails. That's gonna hurt.
It's super safe. Do you know how much engineering goes into these things?
They say airplanes are safe too, but still, the
It's-
trains are safer.
Well, I'd have to look into the engineering, but I'd say yeah. I mean, they already have these in places like Japan. Other countries have these.
Why are we behind on everything? I don't understand why we're always behind on stuff.
That's a whole nother subject.
Like, why can't we just do cool stuff? Why can't we just do cool stuff?
It's
like
all
other
about
countries?
money.
We have money.
Other countries have cars that get like 100 miles to the gallon
Ah, that's true.
that are made by Ford and other companies that sell cars here in the U.S., but we don't get those because of reasons.
We're not supposed to talk about that because
Yeah.
people that talk about that don't end up doing podcasts anymore.
Yeah.
They don't end up doing anything anymore.
If I disappear, you know why.
You said it, not me. You started that conversation.
But I mean, it's gonna be pretty cool. Now, obviously, some people are probably gonna be against this because they'll be like, it's gonna be bad for the environment and blah blah blah. And I mean, everything's bad for the environment nowadays.
It's gonna be bad for the environment. Let me spray my Aquanet in the
Everything's bad for the environment at this point.
Everything really is bad for the environment.
But I mean, it's gonna employ like 20,000 people, and it's gonna bring in like $8 billion in revenue every year. So
Nice.
that's
so cool.
the counter argument. Yeah.
So cool. What else is going on in the world?
Lots of stuff. But the next thing we're going to talk about is something that I picked because, you know, it really applies to me. But there's a lot of news going on right now about the Violence Against Women Act. Have you heard about this?
No, I have. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't watched a lot of TV lately. What?
So the Violence Against Women's Act, it was actually a law that was written in 1994. So actually, it's pretty old, and it was written to help women who have been victims of domestic violence.
Okay.
And helps protect them in their rights. So it's things like getting them restitution to help pay for any health care they have to get, any, you know, mental care they have to get after the fact, you know, child care, or in like things like restraining orders against their abuser to keep them away, to make sure that like they're legally protected from their abuser by law, so that the abuser can't just go back and say, well, I know the court case is over, but here I am, so get ready. So all in all, it's really great for women who are victims of violence and domestic abuse.
So, okay, I'm cool with this. I got no problem with this. But can't we just call it like the Violence Against People Act or something, or like Violence Against Significant Other Act? Because there are guys that get abused too.
Of course.
No. I mean, I'm not trying to belittle this for women in any way, shape, or form, but why can't it be for both? Because it does happen to both. But why the hell are we doing this now? Like, I mean, why now? Why? I mean, this was what, in '94 when they created the law, and they've kind of tweaked it now. It took you that long to figure out to tweak this thing?
It was reauthorized actually in 2013, but there's been a big lapse in it because people in Congress keep voting for and against it. And you would think, oh my gosh, this sounds so simple. Why would you not just vote for it? What's going on?
Right.
People are voting against it because they writ into the law, you know, a lot of protections for members of the LGBTQ community. So, I mean, like if you're how do I say this? Like a biological man who identifies as a woman, you are a woman by law, you should be protected under this law because you identify as a woman, you were beat, you were abused, you deserve to be a part of it. You deserve to be protected.
Everybody should.
Yeah, exactly. And so some people are against that. And then they also wrote in some laws about, you know, more firearm restrictions, saying that if your abuser, you know, if they're registered as a stalker or whatever happens during, you know, your abuse, and that's what they're written down as in the system, then they would not be able to purchase a firearm because of they stalked you, they abused you, they threatened to kill you, and so they are prevented from ever buying a firearm again for reasons.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That sounds about right. And a lot of people are against that because that goes against a lot of people's belief in the Second Amendment that you have the right to bear arms. Everyone should be able to legally buy a gun. And then, you know,
but you can't.
goes.
But if you're a felon, you can't. And if by some chance you get committed of a crime against your spouse and it's not a felony, you can still go buy a gun. Because you didn't hurt some, I don't know. I never could understand that part because you actually hurt somebody. Now, some people can get a felony for a whole bunch of things. You know, a kid carrying weed in his pocket, or, you know, or a guy getting drunk and getting too many DWIs, whatever. 100 different things that you can get a felony for. And some of those felonies are like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but what I'm saying is that if you commit a felony when you're 18 years old because you had too much weed in your pocket or something, like, does that really prevent you from buying a gun? Are you violent because of that? No, you made a stupid decision. But if you actually like hurt somebody, yes, it shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't be a gray area. Just be like, yeah, no, you hurt somebody. We're gonna take that away from you. There's nothing wrong with that. But but I guess that's the part I don't understand is that if they don't actually get committed of that felony, they could still buy a gun. This whole time they've been able to buy a weapon, even though they've proven in a court of law that they've hurt somebody.
Yeah.
I guess now with this change, it'll make it harder for them to buy a gun. Or
Yeah. There have been loopholes that they're trying to close with it. Like there was this thing called a boyfriend loophole. And what it did was it expanded the definition of who a boyfriend is, because the victim might say he was my boyfriend, but then the boyfriend, said boyfriend abuser, would say we were just, casually dating. We were just talking. I wasn't her real girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. So we're trying to nail down the definition of, is it serious or not? That's what they're trying to put in writing, So, I mean, I want the bill to pass. It just really sucks that this is such a big issue, because one side thinks that the other side thinks that gun ownership's a second class right when it's not, and then the other side is saying, well, your side doesn't care about the safety of women, so that's why we wrote this in here. If you care about women, you gotta give up some stuff,
Well, and again, it shouldn't even be the safety of women. It should be the safety of anybody being abused, let alone children, spouse, husband, wife, whatever, live-in boo, your side piece, whatever. There should be something to protect you, because at the end of the day, you're hurting an individual.
Yep.
I guess I don't understand that either. If I don't know you and I beat you, it's a crime, but it's a different crime if I know you and beat you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're
because what this is saying is that, okay, if you were my abuser and you claimed that, and let's say you raped me and you claim that I was her boyfriend, I've known her for 4 years, we're in a committed relationship, we've had consensual sex before, and now all of a sudden she's claiming rape. It's been consensual up until that one time. How was I supposed to know? She didn't say yes, she didn't say no. We've had 3 years of consensual intercourse, and now all of a sudden it's rape. Because
I never thought of that. That's weird. That's actually pretty interesting.
It doesn't matter if you said yes before. If you say no, no means no. And it doesn't matter if you've said yes 100 times and then you say no once. You said no once. That's rape. Right?
Yeah. 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 I'm agreeing with you.
Yeah. So they're trying to lock that down within the bill, and they've had to rewrite that section a few times. So
that's wild.
I know.
Laws are weird.
Yeah. So I'm going to keep up with it because I'd like to see where this goes. I think it's a great bill. I hope it gets passed. The president supports it. So
yeah, he when he was a senator, he was a part of writing that, wasn't he?
I don't know if he was a part of writing it. I haven't read that part.
He played a lead role in passing the law.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And he said that he called that, quote unquote, one of my proudest legislative achievements. So yeah, go Joe.
You go, Joe.
Joe Biden, President Joe Biden. I know we hadn't even talked about that one. We really haven't done any shows since that. Shout out to President Biden.
Yeah. Speaking of Joe, on a side note, I was on TikTok and I saw this video. Someone hosted a party at their house, and it was a Joe themed party, and everyone came dressed up as a different kind of Joe. Like
Average Joe.
Average Joe, Cup of Joe, and then real characters named Joe, like Joe Dirt,
Joe Mama.
Joe Mama. Isn't the Tiger King's name Joe or something? Someone came dressed as the Tiger King.
Joe Exotic.
Joe Exotic. Someone, yeah, all the Joes. And I was like, that's an awesome theme party right there.
Huh.
Yeah.
Did anybody come as Joe from Facts of Life?
Probably.
Wasn't she on Facts of Life?
I've never seen Facts of Life.
Joe? I don't.
People have gotten really creative with parties since COVID.
Yep. Well, you got to have something to do.
And they were wearing masks, so don't worry. I don't know what you're thinking.
By the way, these chairs kind of hurt my butt. I'm not going to lie to you.
Aw, do you need a butt pad?
I do need a butt pad. I think I'm realizing I need a butt pad now. I think my butt's I don't know if it's wide or getting wider. I don't know. It's not a weird. It's a weird chair.
We are sitting on metal flat
it's
stools.
Square. I think most stools I've sat on are kind of elongated a little bit, and this one's square. So if your butt's any bigger than this,
What you got to do is you got to sit it on it when it's not. You got to sit on the triangle part, on the widest part. So move it 45 degrees and then sit back down.
But
there you go.
I do have like objects that get in the way, so
that's a you problem. That's not a me problem.
It's a guy problem. Most guys. Like I think like it like hurts your. Oh, it does feel better. Yeah.
You got to sit on the widest part of the chair.
Oh, that's okay.
You're welcome.
I learned. Yeah.
Life hack.
I learned something new every day. Hell yeah.
All right.
I've been sitting on this thing the wrong way.
Okay. Last topic we're going to talk about today is an article I saw online that just made me laugh and laugh and laugh because I thought it was so funny over like what these people did for how stupid of a thing it was. So let me ask you a question, Sergio. When you were in high school, how big a deal was like homecoming and prom and all those dances? Was it a big deal to you and like the kids at your school?
No.
No?
And I mean, where we went in Terrell High School, shout out Terrell Tigers. No, it really wasn't. None of that was that big of a deal. I know some towns, it is a big deal. You went to Wiley?
Saxe.
Was it a big deal there?
I mean, yes and no. Yes, because out of the people that ran, I wanted to vote. But like once the voting was over and the person won, like everyone instantly like forgot about it. It was yesterday's news. The following Monday, like no one cared.
So, but I know in some schools, homecoming is more important than prom, and others vice versa. But no, I don't know if that's maybe it's like a small town thing, like smaller town thing. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't quite know.
Okay. Well,
so what's going
my
on
point is that I think to most people, it's really not that big a deal. Like, you're not going to look back on your life and say, oh, my God, I was homecoming queen or I was homecoming king. But for some girls, it is. And for this girl, it was. So let me tell you what happened. So, again, another Florida person. Yay, Florida. So there is a principal in Florida.
Okay.
This principal is the principal of an elementary school out in Florida. She was arrested for, so their school district has like this online like portal that kids log into where they can like view their homework and their materials and submit their papers and things like that.
Okay.
And as a principal, she has like direct head access to everyone's accounts in this system. Like if she wants to pull up some random kid's account, see if he turned in his work, she can do it.
Ooh.
So they use this system at one of the high schools to vote for homecoming court.
Okay.
So they would put like a poll in there and say, okay, so and so and so and so and so and so is nominated, cast your votes, and you submit through this portal. Well, she was arrested for hacking the portal and hacking students' accounts to cast their homecoming votes or change their votes.
What?
Yes. And the reason she did this, because like I mentioned, she's the principal of an elementary school. She has a teenage daughter that goes to a high school in the same district.
Okay.
Who was running for homecoming court. So she did this and hacked all these students' accounts to get her daughter votes.
What?
So she would win.
Okay. So, so you work for the school.
The district,
and
yeah.
But if you're an educator, you're like a state employee, I think, right?
If it's a public school district, I guess you're. I don't really know how it works in Florida. What it's considered.
I guess my question is that you've hacked into a it's state funded site. It's funded by the state.
Taxpayer dollars, right there.
So you hacked into a taxpayer funded account. So now you've committed a cybercrime. You've committed a state crime. I think you've committed a felony a federal felony because it's cyber. I think once you commit cyber crimes, that's a federal thing. So you've done all that.
Here's exactly what they did, actually. So they were charged with offenses against computers, unlawful use of a two-way communications device, criminal use of personally identifiable information, and conspiracy to commit these offenses. So like this wasn't just like it pulled up and they decided to do it. This was like pre-planned, like
Dude,
intention.
Like, I'm looking at Mom.
Oh gosh, Mom. Her forehead's so big.
And then they show the daughter. Usually they don't show. Well, I guess because she's 17, they can show the daughter.
I don't know what the legal age is in Florida, but she might be 18 at this point because this actually happened this past fall. So back in this past October, which was what, 5-6 months ago?
So you show mom's mugshot and you show the daughter's prom picture or homecoming picture?
That's her winning homecoming court.
Like, she,
Illegally winning homecoming queen.
you illegally became
That is a crown of lies.
built on a lie. Oh my God, I'm digging. Look at this, man.
Yes.
Mom is not having a good hair day. The
Yep.
daughter looks so happy. Like, I wonder if the daughter's like can you see the fakeness in her eyes, where like the deceit?
She's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it worked. I'm so
my
smart.
God,
I got
I
everything I wanted. I'm just going to go through life and cheat and get everything I want. That's what that girl is thinking. I guarantee it.
They're both facing felonies. So the daughter's 17 and she's getting their felonies.
She was sent to a juvenile detention facility.
Yeah, the investigation was conducted by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. So yeah, you've committed a state felony, and I think it's a federal crime somewhere in here, I think. And they came after hundreds of votes. Wow.
So
Oh my God, 120 votes came from the same IP address. within
how
a short
dumb
period
is
of time.
that? How dumb is that? Like,
But hold on. So you only had to, it's that small of a town, you only had to like fake 120 votes?
no. It keeps going.
Oh.
So she did 120 from one computer within, an hour. So she did one a minute or two a minute, which is dumb because you should, I don't know. I think that's the first thing I would think of, browser history, IP addresses. You can't do that. But she did that. And then she used several other computers in her home. And then she also did it on her cell phone.
Oh, God.
So altogether, she did like over 250 fraudulent votes.
So the investigators said that the daughter had described using her mom's Focus account, which I guess is the school account.
Mm-hmm.
So mom was booked into the Escambia County Jail with a bond of $8,500. And the daughter was taken into custody and transferred to a regional juvenile detention center. I don't know about you, but juvie is not for white-collar criminals. Juvie is for, like, kids that set teachers on fire and steal cars and have guns and shit.
I think that girl's going to get a real wake-up call.
Juvie is scary. I think juvie might be scarier than, like, jail. Because, like, those kids, like, really don't know anything about consequences. They're just like, F the system.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. Girl, you done got beat up.
But man, how would you feel if you were a current student at that same school, maybe another student who did run for homecoming court, and you find out, if I had been on that court, you know what I would have done? I would have gone to like my principal of the school and been like, I think we should have another ceremony and you should crown the real winner. Because
So, do you remember I think it came out in 99. Yeah, it came out in 99. Do you remember She's All That? Freddie Prinze Jr.?
I know what movie you're talking about. I have not seen
Okay.
it.
Oh, you've never seen She's All That?
No.
Oh, dude, this is the movie where Freddie Prinze Jr. is like the captain of everything, super popular, and he's saying he can turn anybody into the homecoming queen, or turn anybody into a popular girl. So then he ends up, he befriends this girl that's kind of nerdy, and but his ex-girlfriend was the homecoming queen, or was going to be the homecoming queen. It's like her mother was the homecoming queen, her sister was the homecoming queen, she was going to be the homecoming queen, and she was going to do anything she, and like the whole thing is like her being so obsessed with being number one and topping this poor girl. And that's the first thing I thought about when you said that. It's like if we remade this movie now, Taylor Vaughn, the character, would be trying to hack her way into becoming the homecoming queen.
Do you think that this girl that falsely won, do you think she probably would act like the character in that movie if we met her in real life?
Like she's just such a bitch, and she's
like entitled and
my
she's
mom was
like,
the homecoming queen. I'm gonna be the homecoming queen. Well, my sister
like,
was the
I
homecoming.
deserve this more than
This is
everybody
mine. You're
because
trash.
I'll appreciate it the most.
Because this is how I peak in life.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it comes down to, man. People like that peak in life
Yes.
at 17.
Yes, those kind of girls peak in high school because in 10 years, when you go back to your high school reunion, where are they going to be? A house mom with 3 little kids that they have to take care of all day? That's all they're going to be.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. They didn't amount to anything else. Not that being a mom is a bad job. I'm not saying that. But these are
I think
also
you
the
just
same
did.
girls that said they were going to go to New York and be models, or they were going to go do this and make lots of money. And no.
It's like that fast money. Kind of like drug dealers. It's like fast money, fast living, but then at some point it catches up to you. Kind of the same thing. Like, yeah, you're up top for a while, but then at some point you start like losing your looks.
Also,
You
their
know.
metabolism slows down. They all start gaining weight. And they're
You said it, not me. I was thinking it, but you said it.
not all of them, but
Caitlin
as you
sounds
get
like-
older.
Kate sounds like she's had some encounters with these girls, these mean girls. Would these be qualified? Would she be a mean girl?
She probably was a slightly mean. Not that she. Okay, no. I think she looks like the type that wouldn't necessarily be mean, but if she didn't want to be friends with you or associate with you, she just wouldn't give you the time of day. You know, like she just wouldn't not acknowledge you, your presence. So no, she wasn't mean to you. She didn't bully you. I'm not saying she's a bully, but I feel like she was just like, look at you, not think you're worth it, and just be like, whatever, just walk by, don't associate with. I don't know.
So
It's just so funny. What's important to some people.
seriously, and then mom of all type. Mom's like, oh, I got to take care of my baby. This is what my baby wants. It's like, what kind of mother are you? Just say no. This is life. You're not gonna win everything. Like, deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with this.
Yeah.
Like, what do we say about mom?
It's just sad because she's in such a position where people look up to her, and she's supposed to set an example to kids and other parents, and now look what she's done. I don't know. Maybe I understand. I'm not a mom, so I can't really speak to this, but you want your children to have everything, right? Like, you're a parent. You want Andrew to have every opportunity
Yes.
in life. You want him to have the best of the best, to have the best life possible, to have things that you never had.
Yes.
So I think I can see how your judgment might be clouded.
No.
Okay.
Because I want him to understand that he's spoiled. Don't get me wrong. We just had this conversation
Yes.
like 45 minutes before we started filming. He is spoiled. He's the only one. We weren't supposed to have kids. We have him. He's spoiled. He wasn't supposed to be here. But there are still limitations, and there's still things that he has to learn about life. That life isn't handed to you. That there's things you still have to work for. And hell no, if he's like, Dad, I want to be homecoming queen or king, whatever. Either. You want to be either. Okay, cool. Go do it. Well, how do I do it? Work for it. Go out there, campaign, tell everybody why you should be this person, like why you deserve it. Go work for it. Like, go hustle. Go grind. You want, and you know what? The part of me that spoils him will say, like, look, man, you want me to like make an ad for you? You want me to spend money and have like a freaking plane fly over the school? I'll do that. But give me the ideas. Present it to me and let's see if it's a good idea, if it makes sense. But no, just to be like, I'm going to go cheat my way to help you win. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll blow a lot of money doing a lot of stupid things to help you win, but I'm not going to cheat. I'll go very over the top for you.
I'll help you with your marketing.
I'll help you with your marketing campaign. Exactly. I'd like to show mom again, because Kate made a good point about like when you get older, your looks start to fade, and I don't know, man. Mom's looking a little rough.
You need to scroll up and show the picture underneath that.
I don't know. That picture's pretty rough. Let me see.
There's
That one. That's you, girl. That's gonna be you when you get older, girl. Maybe she saw mom and she's like, "Oh, I don't want that life."
wow. I don't know. I think too, like if you truly campaign and like you get all these people to like you and to vote for you, and all these people want you to win, and then you do win, it is so much more satisfying to know that you truly won, and all the kids that voted for you are going to be so happy for you. Versus this girl who wins, and if no one in the crowd who voted liked her, they'll all be like, "What? Why did she win? Did you vote for her? No, I don't." Like
and that's
her,
the one thing.
you know?
If you win and nobody liked you,
How did you win?
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "How the hell did she win?"
Was there an electoral college
Somebody-
like set up in this campaign I didn't know about?
If you win and you're a BITCH and nobody likes you, you don't think somebody's gonna be like, "No, did you think she won? No, I didn't vote for her. Did you vote for her? No. Let's go ask so and so down the street. Did you vote for her? No. Well, she didn't vote for her. Like, okay, like we've surveyed 75 people and nobody voted for her. How did she get 250 votes? Let's go ask another 150 people. 200 people. Okay, all these people we've asked say they didn't vote for her. How did she get these votes? Like, and I want to know how much of a margin she won by. Like, if it was really unrealistic, and they're like, there's no way in hell that many people would have voted for her, then that's another thing too.
I don't know. I don't think I saw like what kind of
Because
margin.
then you could be world's dumbest criminals.
Oh, look, here's a picture of her. Ooh,
Where's that
go
one
down
at?
to the Twitter post and click Twitter and click on that one, yeah. And I guess that's a picture of the daughter later,
Oh my
possibly in juvie.
Oh my God! And she got booked in. Oh, that's sad.
Aw, she looked so happy in her homecoming picture.
She not so
Lies.
much there. Why are we making fun of this girl?
Well, we got to make do. You know, it's been a rough year. It's been an especially rough few months. A lot of bad stuff has happened in the world. So I really just needed to laugh at something that was
man.
just so dumb and not important.
Thing. Poor thing. Such a fall from grace. They should. You know what they should have done? Down here, they have the picture of the daughter. Mm-hmm. Like when she won, they really should have had the picture of the daughter and mom, like hand in hand, and then scroll up and show the side by side of the mugshot. That would have been pretty funny. You know, if I would have been looking for that picture if I was this guy. So I'm gonna throw one out there, a topic to you. You may or may not have seen it yet. Have you seen Justice League yet?
You mean the 4-hour Jack Snyder one?
Zack Snyder.
Zack.
No, that's Snack Snyder.
Zack Snyder. Jack Snyder?
Zack Snyder.
Snackers.
Not Snack Snyder. That's the pretzel guy. Not Snyder's. Zack Snyder.
No, I got you doing it. No, I have not.
Okay. But you will watch it?
I will try.
Okay,
I'm going to try.
Have you seen the other one?
I've seen the other movies, yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Then we're not going to talk about it tonight. But I think we should have an episode dedicated to the Zack Snyder Justice League.
Sorry.
The Snack Snyder Justice League. So
Now I want snacks.
look, we have like the light's actually pretty good in here. It's got a little. It's
I
gotten
think
darker.
we
now.
look great.
Look,
Like,
we've been eating light all these years.
it was light when we started, and it's pitch black now, and y'all didn't even know.
We've been missing light all these years. That's all we needed to look good was good lighting. So yeah, it's good to have you.
I'm so happy to be back.
I'm so happy to see you. Like I was like, what the hell? We're like one of these days we're gonna do this. We built a little compound for nothing.
Yeah, and we were gonna come out here earlier, and then the snow vid happened, and
Everything. God, it's all starting to get better. I think. Hopefully.
yeah.
So, cool. Well, we got our own little our wee shed.
Our wee shed.
It's the wee shed.
Yes.
There's no me and we, or there's
We
no
using
I
inclusive pronouns, the right
we,
pronoun.
The wee shed.
The wee shed.
So, is that gonna wrap us up?
I guess so.
I think that's gonna wrap us up. Let's shout out to the sponsors. Young Ideas Dish Network for your Dish Network needs and
Yep.
for supplying this little thingy right here that makes everything possible. East Texas Championship Wrestling, the local game store in Richardson, Texas. They are still open. They're still there for your card game needs. They still do tournaments. They do all that stuff. They're still there. So
It's all COVID friendly and safe.
yeah, go visit
So-
Andrew and the guys. That's it, right?
Can you lend a hand?
Wave Space Audio.
Wave Space Audio.
Wave Space Audio for creating the music that we still use and love. So I think that's going to wrap us up. We're going to leave you with a little bit of Wave Space Audio. And we'll talk to you guys next time.
Thanks, y'all. Peace out.
Later.